Hello, everybody, and welcome to College Talk Tuesday. This is Andy Lockwood, and we are live here on Facebook. And today's topic for College Talk Tuesday is how to negotiate with a financial aid office. So, I'm giving you a little sneak preview of a webinar that we're doing in 2 days on Thursday night on the 7 closely guarded tuition discounting secrets, and I'll give you the website later to register for that. But I want to talk to you in the next 10 to 15 minutes about how you can get more money out of a college after its so-called final financial aid offer. So I think the first point that I want to make is that a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that yes, you actually can negotiate with a college financial aid office because they don't always give their highest and best offers. Plain and true. If they did not do that, then we wouldn't be able to, for years, really more than 10 years, be able to improve many of the initial offers that our clients have gotten. And what you should think about is that colleges are businesses. I know that they are, nonprofit institutions of higher education, which means basically that they don't pay any taxes on their earnings, but they may put out to the public that they have your interests at heart and your education and molding young minds and all that type of stuff, but they are in business just like any other business that may or may not be nonprofit. So if you don't believe me, go tour a campus, check out the amenities that they're offering kids, such as, where they work out to relieve stress, including workout facilities nowadays include things like rock climbing walls and lazy rivers and all sorts of other amenities. When I was in school, we had a gym that was in an armory, and there's a basketball court, and there was like a track over the basketball court, and then you could go in and play around with the old Nautilus machines and things like that. And I'm sure many of you watching this, also experienced something kind of similar. So they're businesses, they have salaries to pay. A lot of presidents make 7-figure incomes, and you name it. There's all sorts of costs that they have. So they are businesses, which means that they don't always give their highest and best offers, because it's almost like they're saying, you know what, this kid deserves $20,000, but let's see if we can get them to come for $15,000. I'm not saying that's exactly how it goes, but it's like that. So that's the first step, is understanding that they are businesses. The second step is understanding that you are in business for yourself, whether or not you realize it. This is a business transaction. So a friend of mine was telling me about a conversation with a Hofstra professor, that's a local college here, who said something along the lines of, if you don't understand that you're in business, then you're going to be out of business yourself. And you have to play this game as if it is a big transaction, because I'm sure college costs are crazy. They're through the roof. They increase faster than any other measurement, any other index, including cost of living, including healthcare, you name it. And there's no sign of these costs slowing down. I mean, I'm seeing, for the last few years, I've seen stories, but I haven't seen any real proof that college costs are decreasing. And frankly, one of the main reasons behind why the costs are going up so much is because of all the free money that is available to kids and families through the federal loan system. This is not there's plenty of politics going on. You don't need that from me on this broadcast. But the point is that college costs are going up, and you need to guard yourself. Forearmed is forewarned, or maybe it's forewarned is forearmed. You need to figure this out, that you are entering into a transaction, which means you have to learn how to play the game. So let me talk to you about 2 case studies and the commonalities between them, and maybe this can help you. And like I said, we're doing a webinar on Thursday night. That is available at, let me see, I don't know if I can post that and do this simultaneously. CS4L.tv, as in College Success for Less. TV, cs4l.tv. So, case study number 1, I talk about this a lot. We had a couple of years ago a client who got into both Harvard and Yale. And one of my favorite aspects or my favorite sort of tactics to take to make sure that my clients get the most amount of money that they can get is to apply to colleges that are rivals. So in this case, I had nothing to do with the college selection, but you can understand that Harvard and Yale are rivals. That's an obvious one, and that's why I use this as a story. So let me tell you what happened. So the kid gets in, and Harvard and Yale each look at the same financial aid forms, the CSS profile. They give out money only on a need basis, meaning they look at income, they look at assets, they look at a bunch of other financial information, and they do not look at any type of grades or scores or any type. Those are merit types of factors, and Ivy Leagues do not give merit money. So he gets into both, and Harvard looks at his parents' financial aid application and awards something like $35,000, somewhere around there. Yale looks at the same financial aid application, and their offer, $0. Mom's freaking out. Here's what's even more weird about this situation. Both parents were a Yale alum. He was a double legacy. On top of that, the dad is an adjunct professor, like a part-time professor at Yale. So the mom's freaking out, and she's like, what happened? And I said, I really don't know. Did you piss someone off over that? I mean, I couldn't, there was no logical explanation, except I said, listen, let's try to get more money. There's no downside to trying to get more money out of Yale. They're not going to rescind their offer or anything like that. Let's write a letter and show them Harvard's offer. So we crafted a letter, which I'll describe, and we sent that not only to the financial aid office at Yale, but also to admissions. And the mom, she said, oh, wow, admissions, I never would have thought of that. You're brilliant. And I said, well, you went to Yale, because I went to Wesleyan, 30 minutes away, but about 100 SAT points away from Yale, and it made me feel good about myself for, maybe 6 or 7 seconds. Anyhow, so she gets a letter back from Yale after they had, quote unquote, reconsidered their financial aid offer, and they went from $0 to like $40,000 for that year, and the second year, same thing. How does this make sense? It doesn't make sense, because remember, Yale and Harvard and the Ivy League schools and many other elite colleges look only at your financial need. So somehow Yale reassessed the financial need and said, oh yeah, wait a minute, we didn't mean $0. We meant $40,000. Okay, nuts. That's story number one. And of course, I have to tell you, not every, all these examples I talk about in my presentations and books and things like that, of course, everyone can't get the same results. Your results may be worse, they could be better, they could be the same, who knows. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you an example so you understand that colleges will negotiate and you should never give up. Story number two, I talk about this a lot in my workshops too, that I had a client who in her junior year started working with us, and she had identified her top school as USC, University of Southern California, not University of South Carolina, which someone pointed out to me this weekend. I'm talking about the Trojans, not the Gamecocks. I can almost say that with a straight face because I'm almost that mature. Anyhow, I said, okay, great. Let's pick some other colleges that you can apply to and hopefully get a better, or at least an equivalent financial aid award for, and then maybe we'll use that as an arrow in our quiver against USC when the time comes, if you get in and all that, and the stars align. So here's what happened. She said, well, what do you mean? Pomona or UCLA? And I said, you know what, you're going in as a communications major, so let's look at Syracuse, because Newhouse is an elite communications program, and one or two other colleges. Ultimately, she also applied to Syracuse and maybe one other school at my suggestion. So what ended up happening was she gets in to her top choice school, and she got an initial offer of $23,000. I think it was $23,518. It's because it's never a round number. That's just bizarre. Another bizarre thing about the financial aid system. And she was happy, but her dad, Rick, was a little freaked out because the college still cost something at that time about $58,000, and he did, as it turns out, receive better offers from other schools, including Syracuse, which again primarily, not only, but primarily gives need-based awards based on the CSS profile financial aid form. That's one of the two major forms. I'll be talking about that Thursday night. And USC used the same financial aid form, but they came back with two totally divergent offers. So we went over and drafted an appeal letter, which I'm going to sort of highlight for you right now. Thank you very much for your very generous offer. Alexis is very excited about coming to her first choice college. It's been her top choice because of A, B, and C. We think Alexis is going to be a huge credit to the school because of her, 1, 2, and 3 accomplishments. However, we're very concerned about our ability to be able to afford to send her to her top choice school, and we did receive other offers that we were being forced to consider only for financial reasons. So if there's any way at all possible you could either meet or even exceed these other awards, Alexis would be 100% committed to attending her dream school, USC. That's it in a nutshell. And he sent it off, and he followed my instructions except for one key thing, which, by the way, he admitted, and I actually forced him to do, I strongly urged him to do a video for me on my website. And so I'll tell you what that was after I walk you through the rest of this. So a week goes by, he doesn't hear back from USC. His daughter's getting more and more upset. A second week goes by, we're drawing near the May 1st housing deposit deadline. He's freaking out. He's followed up. We're emailing each other back and forth. He's telling me, please help. She's crying. Alexis is crying. It's 3 a.m. And I said something like, I don't have feelings, dude, spare me. No, I said, okay, let's talk on the phone. So I went through my checklist with him the next day. Did you do this? Yes. This? Yes. Number 3, did you remember to send a copy of the letter to the admissions office? Like I said before in the Harvard versus Yale example. And he said, no, I forgot. I'm going to do that right now. Here's the denouement. I guess here's the climax and then the denouement. He gets a call from admissions. She had never seen this letter. She didn't know anything about what was going on. She asked him a couple of questions. She told him the right person to speak to in the financial aid office. She marched his letter down to the right person who got his file, who called Rick, asked him a couple of questions, mostly about how he valued his home, but a few other things because he was self-employed, and increased the offer from $23,000 to $53,000 and I think $58. I can't remember exactly the dollars, but a $30,000 swing. Not bad for a letter. And the second year, same result. In the third year, he got a similar result, all because of one letter. So it's definitely worth the cost of a postage stamp. Of course, we work together, but even if you don't work with someone, it's still worth trying. That's my point. The reason that admissions is much more of a stakeholder in the negotiation process is because they are not the bean counters who are trying to manage every last dollar in the financial aid office. They care about many other things, including the yield, which is the ratio of kids who are admitted compared to who actually matriculate. And the higher that yield, then the better the school looks across a number of fronts, including a little bit further rank, a little bit financially for when they go borrow. It's like a credit rating in effect, and some other types of key areas. So they care about that yield, so it might then, in their judgment, be worth adding a few extra dollars from an initial offer to entice the on-the-fence candidate to show up. So that was really the gist of it. But I gave you the outline, the letter. There's a whole lot more to talk about. If you are interested in attending our free webinar, it's Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's either 7 or 7:30. Pretty sure it's 7 o'clock. Would have been nice if I prepared a little bit more for this episode of College Talk Tuesday. But you can go to cs4l.tv, as in collegesuccessforless.tv, cs4l.tv. You sign up. If you can't make it at that time, assuming it's 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursday night, then that's okay, because we're going to be attempting to record it, and we'll send it out to everyone who is pre-registered. So go to cs4l.tv, send this to a friend. Please like this page. Please spread it around. This is like an experiment for us to be doing this Facebook stuff. We're going to be doing more of it, as soon as we can. We're going to be doing more of the weekly shows, but also maybe some more impromptu stuff. So if you like the page, you'll be notified when we go live, and you won't miss out on anything, including my goofy stories about Harvard and Yale. You may be curious about what college T-shirt I'll be wearing in the near future. There's so many reasons to sign up. I'm beside myself. So, all right. So I'm signing off now. This is Andy Lockwood, College Talk Tuesday, and hopefully I will talk to you Thursday night. Go to cs4l.tv. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.